Hi, I'm RAUL ROA Estilista. Let's see a haircut for an older woman. This cut had been requested by many of you. Long time ago, but needed for the right model. For this type of cut, and you will see why, my model is a beautiful 80-something-year-old lady that very kindly served me for this cut. We start by making a division that goes from ear to ear, passing 3 centimeters below the crown, which will create 2 sections, the front and the back, as you wish. We tilt our client's head forward and we started cutting for 3 fingers. Vertically, we are going to take all the sections, all of the wigs, and we are going to cut as we can appreciate. Vertically. All 3 fingers, all in the back, we are going to cut in the same way. Straight to the 3 fingers. And we use our precision scissors, which creates the structures for me to work on. The technique for us using our fingers as a guide, I can explain it in a previous video. You can be found on my YouTube channel. Having a structure ready, now we are going to work the lower part just below occipital. Let's work with 2 fingers. We start to cut 2 fingers, and what we do is connect the upper back with that lower part and cut 2 fingers slightly diagonally. And we are cutting as we can see in the video. You can also cut vertically. What happens is that due to the ergonomics of the client's head and neck and body position, it is more practical to work like this in diagonals. How we are using our fingers as a guide to give a perfect result in the structure, but the same, it allows us, as we talked about, the position and the bone structure of our client, as we can also work on it. Vertically, there is no problem, it will look very good too. Now that we are going to do is connect the nape with the structure we just made. Let's go to the section wigs vertically, where that we need our client to have the head more inclined to be able to put my fingers well. And I'm going to work on the inside of my hand to connect the 2 structures. The idea is that the neck is very short. For that, I'm going to lean forward slightly to connect the cut I made with the 2 fingers of the nape. As the graph shows, after you finish in the lower left back, we will continue with the lower right back, working the same way. As we see here, we are working with 1 finger. On the nape, it's completely glued to the hand, but at the end of the fingers, he bent a little to connect. From smallest to largest section, already finished the back part, I'm going to the front part. Where I'm going to the section the side, in the ladies' cut, it's generally selected above the ridge area in order to maintain a roundness in the finish, and in a man's cut below the ridge area. This allows me to be more square. We'll cut the sides to the 3 fingers. We still section the wigs vertically, and we'll cut straight. Supporting us with our fingers for the 3 fingers. Now we are going to define the external perimeter. For this, we comb the hair forward. Put it inside our fingers and cut by the inner part of the hand around the contour. Then we proceed to connect the outer perimeter with the lateral structure. What we are going to do is remove some tips to take the weight off the hair so that it gives us a nice shape. We continue the outline of the perimeter at the level of the ear, right by the edge. If I do it above, it will be too short. Although some clients like it, but the idea is that it's not too short, but that's what it is. Right over the ear, we comb the hair above and below. We carry it inside my fingers, and I'm going to cut straight by following the shape of the outer perimeter of the hair. Now turn back and I'm going to connect the perimeter that we have created with the structure. Removing the tip, we are going to see, and that's what we can appreciate. As we show in the graph, and our hand also dabs all around to cut and shape the structure. Go connecting the perimeter that we have created with the structure that was formed. Now let's polish. Even more, the external perimeter we can create, where that we are going to comb the hair very well, and supporting them with the scissors, we are going to define the perimeter. One of the parts of the body that continues to grow is the ears. That's why some clients ask you to cover the ear. Because of course the ears are not going to look so big. It is not the case of my client. That's why I have left them uncovered. But it's very important to take it into account when it's recommendation from our client. Because many tell me they sit down and hairdressers do what they want. And it's very important to do what the client wants. That builds customer loyalty, and above all, the kinds of people are supremely loyal to you. When you give it to the taste, this type of cut is characterized for giving volume of the sides, upper part and the back part, and the height of the occipital. That's why we work a lot of external perimeter, to make it shorter and help boost the volume. We will select the opposite side and we will work in exactly the same way we take our sections. Wigs to be cut vertically. We carry them supporting each other with our fingers to the 3 fingers and cut straight. The ideal is that they are very thin wigs. The thinner the better. If I cut vertically, I can correct horizontally to remove any excess tips. If I have taken 2 thick sections, we also define the external perimeter. Combing hair forward, putting it inside our fingers, and cutting it straight. That we are going to do around the contour. Let's remember that the ear we are not going to leave is too short. But if you want to keep it shorter, I'll go up a little bit more. Like a finger height to make the entire perimeter shorter. Too many people of this age, they have hearing aids to hear better than. They don't like to be seen. Your hand's free as I tell you, and it's also ideal that it is long in that area. And on the nape, if I can leave it long. There are women who like it super short and they look super cute because they look very modern. And we're also going to work the outer perimeter connection with the structure in the same way, working inside our fingers, leaning out a little to achieve the required cutting angle. And also adapting our fingers. And the moment comes where our hand has to change positions, because obviously it's going to give us more hand. And we change the position of our hand and we keep cutting on the perimeter with the structure all around. We will also refine the perimeter very subtly so that it's not so marked, because it's very, very marked. Make sure not to masculinize the cut so it doesn't look very manly. Excess hair is removed, but that is not so marked so graphically. Of course, the recommendations are not practical because there are clients who like the styles of hairdressers who mark and define. The nape and the contour is very important to perfect style, and the ergonomics of the scissors also very important. The right way we should hold it to make it a very good cut. I also explained that on my YouTube video. What is the correct way to hold the scissors very well, and also the perfect scissors to work with. Now we move on to work on the upper back, where we section whisk horizontally. We take the cut of 4 fingers and connect to the top. With the sides we just cut, and we cut to connect each of those sections. The thinner the wig, the cut will be more beautiful. It will be much tighter, and it can also see the guide wig. Where I'm making the cut, do not forget to connect each of the structures. The upper structure with the sides. We stopped working with a moving wig, and we went on to work with the stable wig. That means that all the wigs that I'm going to be sectioned and cut, I'm going to take them to the same cut-off point. That will allow me front to stay longer because they like it. That it may be made in a beautiful wave that gives them volume. Then what we are going to do is bring each of the strands to cut at the same point. It's what we call stubble cutting guide. We connect the upper part with the back. We select vertically, as we have been working horizontally, sectioning vertically, and we cut the excess remains to connect the structure. To finish, we define the external perimeter at the front part, achieving the excellent result. It was very nice to cut a hair on this princess, for she has left no bitterness in life. She is a woman who has an impressive lucidity at her 80 years old, and it was a pleasure to make this video for me. Thank you very much. Also, I have the brushing step by step, but that will be in the next video. See you soon.